Hello there, so the Genrethon is over and I'm here today to bring you my wrap up. Firstly, thank you very much to Lauren, Brittany, Joss and Kristen. It was great fun and I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely be doing more readathons. I have to say, I completely just threw together my TBR for this on the night before it started, and I didn't really expect to actually get the books read. I just thought that'd be my loose guide. And I got all of them read, and I didn't even feel that panicked, so it was excellent. I got a bit of a panic on Wednesday, I think, when I'd only read one book, but actually I didn't even have to really push myself to finish these, so it was really good. That's why I liked this readathon, because it wasn't like setting the standards really high, it was quite doable. So that was fantastic. So I will not go into too much detail about these books because obviously I'm going to be talking about them in detail in my main wrap up, but I will go through what they were and what I thought of them. So I read about 200 to 250 pages of the Luminaries. I was just near the end when it started. This was the historical fiction genre, and I have to say I loved this book. You'll hear more about it in my wrap up, but I absolutely adored it. I thought it was so much good fun, and considering the size, it's actually a really fast-paced read and I couldn't put it down. So there was that one. Then in non-fiction I read Why Be Happy When You Could Be Normal by Jeanette Winterson. I absolutely loved this. It was really sweet, really lovely, just an inspiration. There was a bit in here that was about sort of you have to take risks if it's important, and I really loved that because it seemed really apt for me at the moment. But I love Jeanette Winterson. I definitely want to get more into her fiction. I've only so far read a short story collection by her and Oranges Is Not the Only Fruit, which I actually want to reread because I can't remember anything about it. I think I wasn't fully concentrating on it when I read it, so I will definitely be rereading that one and more of Jeanette Winterson in the future. Then I read Wander by R.J. Palacio. This was as a sort of ode to Lauren because I know how much she loves it and it's been on my shelf for ages. I did enjoy this, though looking back on it nothing actually happens, but it's just a sweet little story about a boy with a facial disfigurement who is going to second or big school for the first time. The only thing I would say about this is that he's meant to be 10, but the kids in this struck me as more sort of 13 upwards. But other than that, it was really sweet, really lovely. I think it's an important book, and I think definitely for the age range that it's aimed at, I think it's very important as well. Then I read, for the short story category slash magical realism, because I don't know if short story counts as a genre necessarily, I read Kirsty Logan's The Rental Heart and Other Stories. I've obviously tabbed quite a few stories in this. There were some that I really didn't get on with, but there were others that were really lovely. The Rental Heart, the title story, was really sweet, and there's a retelling of Snow White in here that I thought was really well done. It's basically sort of based on the idea of fairy tales. She's made her own fairy tales in there, and also there's sort of reworkings of already existing fairy tales, and it's quite a sweet little read. It's only thin, and I really enjoyed that one. I can't wait to get to the Grace Keepers after that. And then finally I read Station 11 by Emily St John Mandel. I also really enjoyed this one, so it was a success all round really. This is a post-apocalyptic sort of novel. What I liked about this was that a lot of dystopian is sort of, it's obviously stuff that could happen, but it's sort of once removed in the fact that it's either something that would happen in the future or something that's quite distant from the way we are now. This I liked because it was basically less dystopian, more just apocalyptic. It was in the world we are in now, this is what happened, and sort of this is what would happen, and I think it was very realistic and quite scary actually. I kind of spooked myself out reading this one night on my own because it's just so close to home almost, so that was really good. And that was everything, and I'm really pleased with what I got done. As I say, I didn't think I was going to read all of those, and I did, and it was great fun, and yes, definitely worth doing. Bye!